Do you have a how married are you for me?
Check. Not yet.
No, like.
Do I have one that you can do? What?
I couldn't think of one. I was trying to think. I gotta be doing stuff on purpose like you, cause you.
I don't be doing stuff on purpose.
Yes, you do. Last week, babe, you're like, I went down there and I got the tea, and
no,
that was on purpose. You did that for me.
Anyway,
are we ready?
Yeah.
Hello, my name is Mrs. Melanin.
And I'm Belief Mel.
And we're here with episode 27 of How Married Are You? And we're back. All right, babe. Chocolate baby story time. Do you have one?
Yeah. Theo, I think we'll probably have the same one, I guess. So Theo has been tripping. He turned 6 like a week and a half ago. And like, he's already testing the next level. And I don't know if it's because he's been in, going to like school for like one day a week. Or like what's happening, but he's pretty annoying. He's like demanding certain things. Today he was like, yo, Dad, I'm hungry, but I don't want anything in this house. I want like Chick-fil-A, In-N-Out, or pizza. And I'm like, okay. You know what I mean? I just say okay because I'm kind of like, I don't have to. But I feel like he's like manifesting his way or something. It's very like weird. And so I just be saying no to stuff even before. Just because I'm like, let me just crush you real quick because you were starting to like really, really go overboard with this. It's bad.
Yeah. He's definitely coming into his own. I don't even know if that's the right terminology to use. I will say that I do think, so one day a week we let Theo go to the Enrichment Academy with the homeschool charter that we use. And I figured it's just a way for him to be able to like be in a classroom setting with a teacher and other kindergartners, but it's only 3 hours one day a week. And on the week of Valentine's Day, I got to volunteer in the classroom, and Theo's a good kid. Like all in all, he's a good kid. But I did notice that one of the kids that he was gravitating toward was like, how there's like that one kid that's smart, but he's also mischievous, however you say it. Theo was gravitating toward that kid. Yeah. It was really sad. They were at, I don't know if it's lunchtime or snack time. It's really just snack time. But they were at snack time, and it was Theo, this boy, and 2 other boys. They sat down together to eat. And then this little girl came up to sit with them. And me, I'm volunteering. I'm trying to give him his space, but I'm still watching just to kind of see what's going on. And so all of a sudden I see these boys run away, but it was the one kid that ran, and then the rest of the boys followed, right? And so then the little girl it was sad because she had just gotten everything out of her lunchbox and was settled.
That is terrible.
I'm laughing, but I shouldn't. It's really sad. She had gotten everything out of her lunchbox, was settled, and then they run away, including my child. And I was like, oh, heck nah.
Yeah, he's a follower.
Yeah. And then and then the girl ended up gathering all her stuff and following them to the next table. And then the little boy led the posse again, and they ran again. And then at that point, I was like, okay, this is not nice. I tried to point it out. I was sitting with one of the other teachers, and I was like, hey, I'm seeing this going on. I would address it, but my child's involved and I don't want to embarrass him. Can you guys kind of go see about it? And
yeah,
the teacher was kind of nonchalant about it, and she's like, oh, it's probably not that, but it totally was that. And so I had a conversation with Theo on our way back home about it, and I was just like, buddy, you have to be nice to everyone no matter what, even if everyone else isn't, being nice.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like I always talk to them about being the solution. You know what I mean? Like, not the problem. You are not a part of the problem. You're the solution. And exclusion, like, you let everybody play. Everybody's a part of the squad. Like, no one gets left out.
Yeah.
And for me, like, that really hurts because I'm just like, dang, that is not. But he is 6.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And she was a girl trying to hang out with boys. And what was funny is when I saw everyone take their seats to eat their snacks, it was like I was back at teaching middle school because you had all the girls and all the boys, but this little girl was just like, oh, I'm going to hang out with these guys.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just still feel like they should have been more inclusive, or he should have been more inclusive.
Yeah. Yeah, that's sad.
But it did affirm for me that I'm glad that we homeschool, because it gives me an opportunity to be more of a greater influence on him than some little rugrat that I don't approve of.
Yeah, some turd burglar who knows his name. I don't know his name. I don't know the kid. I don't know your mama. But
I won't say his name just in case.
Anyway, but also today, just to kind of like bring it back all together, like, they had a really rough time. So this is coming out on Thursday. So Friday, this episode will drop where you see the kids just kind of freak out. Like, they don't get their way and they just start throwing a fit. And it reminds me, like, yeah, you're 6, but like, you're still 2, kind of. You know what I'm saying? Like, you still throw tantrums like a 2-year-old.
Like, I actually was thinking about that today, and while I was dealing with Uriah, because you'll see the episode, well, you didn't see my part of this, but Uriah and I walked off, and he cried the entire 15 minutes that we were walking.
Yeah.
And I was thinking to myself, how do I handle this right now? Do I fuss him out, or do I just let him work through his emotions? Because is this a natural, is this natural for childhood development?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, is this just something that he's going to have to come to terms with? I don't know.
You should have just ran off and been like, cry or keep up. Figure it out.
Well, I was like, I'm not going to, because he really wanted to hold my hand. I was like, I'm not going to hold your hand while you're crying. I don't want to have that attached to me. That's some bad energy.
Yeah.
I don't want that energy to get me.
Throw off your whole run. Yeah. All right. Well, that's it for Chocolate Baby Story Time. Let's go ahead and switch gears and hop into
Words of Affirmation.
Right. So, Words of Affirmation is when...
I want to add something onto that when you're done.
Okay. So why don't you go ahead and start?
Well, Words of Affirmation is an opportunity for you guys to let us know, why are you listening? What is it about our podcast that keeps you interested in coming back every week? And you can send it via DMs on Instagram to How Married Are You social media, or you can send it via voicemail on the Anchor app. But I also wanted to say, some of you guys may be like me. Like, I know I'm doing a podcast, but I don't really like to listen to my voice. And maybe you don't like to record your voice either. But another way to send us Words of Affirmation is to leave a review on whatever app you're using to listen to this podcast, whether it be the Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Stitch, whatever it is. It's called Stitcher. My bad. Just leave a review for us, rate us. That helps us get found by other people who are looking for content surrounding parenting and marriage and Black love.
Yeah.
Also, engage with us on our YouTube channel by subscribing and leaving comments in the sections below the video.
Yes, and also I just found out that we are 90% female listeners.
Yes,
so that's 90, a whole 90%. And I'll be thinking like, yo, why am I never getting any of the votes to swing my way? Like, every time we do like a poll or something like that, it's always,
not always, babe.
Most of the time it's on your side, and now I know why. But that's okay if y'all husbands and y'all significant others and y'all brothers and uncles and dads don't want to listen. That's fine. I'm not mad about it. I'm just saying that if we had more dudes on here, I could get some peace of mind. But anyway.
But just go ahead and send the podcast episode to them.
All right, cool. So here is Aaron's Word of Affirmation. Thank you so much, Aaron, for sending this.
Yes, thank you.
Listen up.
What we're going to do right here is go back.
Hey guys, it's Aaron coming to you from Phoenix, Arizona. I discovered you by listening to an Ask Gary Vee episode and found your family, found this podcast, and I absolutely love it.
Freak y'all, and you don't stop
to the beat, y'all, and you don't stop. A freak, y'all, and you don't stop. To the beat, y'all, and you don't stop. A freak,
love what you guys stand for. Love your family. Love the podcast. Been listening for a few weeks now, and I'm addicted. I've told several people about it, so keep up the good work. I have 3 other siblings, and they all have interracial relationships, and it's really been on my heart that I would love to be married to a chocolate, a fellow chocolate one day. And so you guys listening to you just keeps my hopes up and keeps me believing for a good family and good marriage for myself. So thank you for what you do. Have a great day.
And we are back. Yo, so that is super dope. Aaron found our podcast, our YouTube channel, from the Ask Gary V show, which I was on back in, I think 2 Junes ago, or it
was a while ago.
Yeah, like a year and a half ago. And I think that's just really dope. So big shout out to Aaron. Thank you for coming all the way over. Like, you could have just peeped one episode, but you got like super involved.
Yeah.
So thank you, Aaron. And yeah, Yvette, you want to hop into this topic?
All right. So a week ago today, when this podcast airs, was Valentine's Day.
Oh, okay.
And and so I just kind of wanted to talk about Valentine's Day for a little bit. Babe, do you even know where Valentine's Day comes from?
Satan.
It's so dramatic. No, seriously.
Corporate Satan.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Lucifer.
So I did a little digging. And we'll link some of the articles that I got this information from in the show notes. But I did a little digging to kind of see, like, where does Valentine's Day actually come from? And so I'm going to share a little of this information with you guys. Some of you guys might find it really interesting. Some of you guys might not. Just go with me here, okay? So there's actually much about the holiday, and how it came about is not really known or confirmed.
I have a quick question.
Yes, what's your question?
Are you willing to do this for Christmas and Easter too? Because just keep going.
What?
But I'm just saying, like, the origin of each holiday, because we never did this, but we're doing it now. But just go ahead.
Just go with me here.
I'm going with you. I'm here.
We don't have to go all over the holidays. If we want to talk,
I'm just saying, Jehovah's Witnesses is going to be like, hey, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. Please don't be getting all whatever with me. I'm just trying to talk about Valentine's Day, because you'll see once we get to where we get to.
This is a setup.
This is totally a setup. This is completely a setup. So
I don't know where this is going anyway, but go ahead. He does not know where it's going. Anyways, so a lot of the details have been lost because the story has been told over and over and over for like since 200s AD. So the earliest possible history of Valentine's Day. Now, y'all, I didn't look up how to say the word, so I apologize, but it's Lupercalia, Lupercalia, which is a holiday that celebrates fertility. It was thought to have been celebrated between February 13th and February 15th. Okay, so Lupercalia is a holiday where the men would strip naked and sacrifice a goat and dog. Young boys would then take strips of hide from the sacrificed animals and use it to whip young women to promote fertility. Wasn't that crazy? That is insane. That sounds like the Me Too movement needs to come and rectify this whole Valentine's Day situation.
Can you imagine if we carried on with that tradition to today? That'd be cray-cray.
They would take like pieces of the animal and whip women
to promote fertility. It's crazy. So anyways, in the late 15th century, Pope, okay, again, don't judge me, I don't know how to say these words. Pope Gelasius, Gelasius, came to power and put an end to Lupercalia. Soon after, the Catholic Church declared February 14th to be a day of feast to celebrate the martyred Saint Valentine. Now, so the feasts that they were having back then have obviously evolved from what we do now. So like there's little resemblance to our modern romantic notions of Valentine's Day compared to the feasts that were taking place there. But other people are saying, by some accounts, the true origin of Valentine's Day didn't come from for another 1,000 years, when the poet Geoffrey Chaucer, again, I'm sorry if I'm butchering these names, was the first person to link Valentine's Day to romance in his poem, The Parliament of Fowls. Chaucer points out that Valentine's Day is approximately the time European birds start mating. So later on, poets like Shakespeare followed his lead and helped create the romantic connotations we have today. So that's kind of where the romance came from. Now, who is Saint Valentine? There's one article that I found that was like, there's hundreds of Saint Valentines back in the day, and there's even some Valentinas that existed back in the day. But there are 2 Valentines that researchers assume the day is named after, that they suspect. And some believe them to be the same person based on very many overlapping similarities, one of which is that they both died on February 14th. However, it's said that their deaths happened years apart. So I don't know. It's kind of like, where did Valentine's Day come from? We don't really know, but we got it now. Some facts that I wanted to share about Valentine's Day. The first Valentine's Day card dates back to 1415 in London. In the U.S., Valentine's Day cards didn't gain popularity until the Revolutionary War. This is when handwritten notes to sweethearts became a thing. And you can imagine why that's the case, because men are out at war and their women are wanting to reassure them, or they're wanting to say their goodbyes just in case they die or whatever. The early 1900s, cards were mass produced for the holiday. So in the early 1900s is when they started producing Valentine's Day cards. Around 70% of Americans will give someone chocolate or candy on Valentine's Day. The Be Mine, you know how you have those hearts?
Sounds a little aggressive, but go ahead.
What?
Be mine.
Oh, you know, the hearts
please.
that say...
Go ahead. Go ahead.
You know those hearts that say, be mine, I love you, yada, yada, yada. The Be Mine was the first candy sweetheart that was made in the mid-1800s. And the last fact I wanted to read was about 144 million cards are exchanged on Valentine's Day, second only to Christmas, and not including the Valentine's Day cards that they have at the schools with the kids.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to respond to any of that at all?
I already know it's coming. Let's just keep going.
Okay. So did you guys know that there's this thing called the National Retail Foundation, the NRF?
No.
Okay. So they had a lot of information about Valentine's Day as well. They track trends for different holidays, not just Valentine's Day, but all different kinds of things. But I have, of course, focused on Valentine's Day. And I only looked at the last 10 years, the trend over the last 10 years. So in 2009, and I'm just going to focus, well, actually, no, I won't. In 2009, this one, it has to do with those who are planning to celebrate Valentine's Day. And so in 2009, 72% of those in the 18 to 34-year-old age group were planning to celebrate Valentine's Day. Between 35 and 54 years old, 65% were planning to celebrate Valentine's Day. And those 55 and older 52% of them were planning to celebrate Valentine's Day. Mm-hmm. So you notice as you get older, the romance dies, or you just don't believe in the thing anymore. I'm not even going to read all the other years, but in 2019, it went from 72% to 53% of 18 to 34-year-olds who planned to celebrate Valentine's Day. For 35 to 54-year-olds, it went from 65% to 52%. And then for those 55 and older, it went from 52% to 47%. Mm-hmm. So over the past decade, those choosing to or planning to participate in Valentine's Day has gone down quite a bit, like almost 20% for the 18 to 34-year-olds. And it's continually going down as you get older.
Yeah.
So the crazy thing is the National Retail Foundation found that while those who plan to celebrate, that number is going down, how much money that's being spent is going up. So it's like you saw this trend where, it was kind of weird. And they said the average amount, how much do you think, did you see this already? Did you look at my notes?
No.
How much do you think is how much people spend average on a Valentine's Day gift?
$54.
$54. Where'd you get that number from?
I just guessed. Is that it?
No, the number is $60.
Oh, wow.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. No, it has increased from 2009 to 2019. The average amount of money spent on a Valentine's Day gift has increased by $60.
Jeez.
So in 2009, the average amount spent was $109. In 2019, the average amount spent was $162.
Okay.
But I'm laughing because I'm like, Glen.
Here we go, guys. Here we go.
We all know Glen's dollar amount that he would spend on me. Anyways, they suspect that the amount of money spent on these gifts is going up because people are more so now, like the way that the younger generation 18 to 34 are thinking about the holidays and gifts is not so much about material things, but about experiential things. Mm-hmm. Did I say that right? Where they would rather give someone a spa day or have a trip to go somewhere rather than just give them flowers, cards, and a candy. Mm-hmm. They want to create memories rather than just give them things, which is actually kind of sweet when you think about it. Yeah. And so what was I about to say? Okay, so for fun, this is what I don't know if this is fun or not. You guys are probably like, okay, let's get to the point. Anyways, for fun, in 1948, the average cost of Valentine's Day per couple, how much do you think it was in 1948?
I don't know. The average cost of what?
Per couple, like of a date. Me and you go out, we're going to do dinner and a movie.
$60. 19 what?
1948.
1948? Oh. $10.
Okay, you're a little bit over. It was $8.79 per couple. Mm-hmm. But you have to keep in mind that the average cost of a movie ticket in that time was 36 cents. So that's just a fun fact that I thought I'd share. Mm-hmm. Okay, so all this to get to the point. So I think we can all agree that Valentine's Day is an overly commercialized holiday.
All holidays are.
All holidays are. Mm-hmm. But Valentine's Day especially, I feel, maybe like Christmas.
All of them
are really over it. But Valentine's Day is kind
of... Except for Father's Day.
Really, Glenn? And Mother's Day. I'm just kidding.
No.
And Yvette's birthday. That should be a national holiday. Anyway, what was I saying? So yeah, we all, whatever. So was it last week? Yeah, there was a post last week on our Instagram account where I was like, hey, like, do you guys celebrate Valentine's Day? And like, is Valentine's Day a big deal in your household? And there was posts from like, no, because we celebrate love all year round and we don't need a special day to tell us when to show our love to whomever. And then they were like, of course we do. Like, this is a beautiful day to just pause and take time and appreciate and love on.
So different extremes.
There's different extremes of responses from whatever. And so, which that brings us to
my pitiful...
Hold on. Slow your roll.
Come on, get to it. Good Lord.
My question is, so on that post, I didn't actually say whether or not we celebrate Valentine's Day. Mm-hmm. And so do we celebrate Valentine's Day?
No.
Okay. Have we celebrated Valentine's Day in the past?
In the past, yes. Maybe once.
Okay. And have we ever had a pointed conversation about whether or not we are going to celebrate Valentine's Day?
No.
Yeah. And so here we are.
Yeah.
A week later. Actually, this is actually still pretty fresh for us. But Valentine's Day was on Thursday. Today's Monday when we're recording the podcast. So what is that? Like 3 days later. I found myself on Valentine's Day feeling some type of way. Mm-hmm. And I realized that Glen and I have actually never had a real conversation surrounding expectations of the holiday. And to be completely honest with you, I don't need much. Like, I really don't need much, but I wanted something. Now, mind you, Valentine's Day, it was raining really hard. It was a really rainy day. We were Glen was, out here in the garage working in the cold. The kids and I were hanging out inside and whatnot. But it was a rainy day. And I had made plans to go to the grocery store. And I told him that I was going to take Anaya with me and leave the boys behind because I didn't want to take all 3 kids out in the rain to run the errand that I had to run. But I ended up, because it was a rainy day, we kind of had the kids and I were having a movie day. I know, a lot of screen time. Don't judge me. Anyways, and so they were sitting there watching TV or whatever. And I was like, they're pretty into this. So, and it's raining really hard. So I'm going to run out to the store by myself without Anaya or any other child with me, because literally they had not moved one bit the whole time that I was in the room with them. And I came out in the garage and I was like, hey, babe, I'm going to run to the store. I told them to leave you alone because I told the kids, I was like, hey, don't bother your dad. I was like, leave him alone and I'm going to go to the store. And so I did. And Glen, he was like, what did you say when I said that?
When you said that you were leaving?
Yeah.
I didn't say anything.
Most of the time when I say something like that, I told them to leave you alone, he'll say, yeah, right. Something always goes down.
It always does.
Okay,
it always does.
Anyways, I leave. I'm gone. We should play the voice memo.
We're not going to play the voice memo.
We leave. I'm at Costco. I'm almost done with everything. I'm feeling very accomplished. The next thing you know, I get a voice memo. Actually, first it started out as a text. And then I think he realized, you know what? I have more to say. And so he turned on the voice memo and he had a few colorful words, no profanity.
Not even offensive. You said
was
colorful
very
words.
strong.
It was very stern speech.
Yes.
It was not colorful.
And what did you say?
I said, you cannot do this.
Yes.
I said, you always do this. You cannot do this. This is your situation. You have a child that has to come with you to the store in the rain. Mm-hmm. That is your life. You cannot do this anymore.
And so,
on Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Now, okay. Is that it?
No, I have more, but go ahead.
Okay. But I'm just saying, a few days before that, we had a very long discussion with a friend of ours on what it means to when I'm working or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so it was interesting that you said, hey, I'm going to take Anaya to the store. And then 30 seconds before you actually leave, you say, I'm not taking Anaya. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And so for me, no one really gets this except for other creatives, I guess, who rely on their creativity to produce whatever they need to live or whatever. Mm-hmm. What happens when you're pulled away or when you're working on something deeply and then you're pulled away to take care of something that is totally off. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so I can't even though you're gone, I can't work right because I know that the kids are in there and I'm just imagining what's happening. Mm-hmm. So though it's only, to the store or whatever, or 20 minutes or whatever, it's still I wasn't prepared to take a break. You know what I mean? Nor was I supposed to at that time of the day, And so I felt like I was being sabotaged and I felt attacked. Mm-hmm. And this probably sounds so bad, but our discussions lately have been you need to have a firm time off, Mm-hmm. So when you're coming in here to work, you have to be done in a certain time. So I get a break or I get this. This is what Yvette says to me. And so I'm like, okay. But then you can't just leave in the middle of the day to go to the store. And so I remember countless times of me with Theo and Raya in the rain, like pouring, going to the store. And that was my life. And I could not tell anybody, and I wouldn't dare even ask a friend of ours to come over and watch the kids for 20 minutes. I just was like, well, I just got to do what I got to do. And so the convenience that you have is like, all right, but I feel like I don't even want to fight you on this ever. But at that moment, I was done with that Valentine's Day. I was done.
And it was obvious.
Yeah.
And so I came home, and you know how on your phone, if you have an iPhone, you can like, love, reiterate something. And so when he sent that voicemail, I just reiterated it to let him know that I understood that I can't do that anymore. And honestly, I knew I shouldn't have done it when I did it. And I don't think I've actually apologized. I'm going to apologize right now.
Thank you.
I'm sorry for doing that, because I really should have taken Anaya, even though it would have been inconveniencing me. It would have been better for me to be inconvenienced than for you to be inconvenienced at that moment. And I had said I was going to do something. I didn't do it. So I am sorry. And the truth is, I really wanted to apologize that day. But when I got home, I could feel the tension. And I was like, I can't. This is hard. I'm not going to apologize. I am not. And while I was out at the store, I had bought a bottle of wine because I had intentions. So, okay, because Glen's not a card person. Like, there's really not much I can do. And I didn't want to buy him candy because he's been working out. And so I literally, in my head, thought, okay, what's a small token of love that I could give to Glen, you know, to like say, hey, happy Valentine's Day. I didn't write a card because he's not a card person. He never knows if you are anyone who knows him, you know, he just doesn't.
You give me a card and I say, how long do I have to keep this for?
Yes.
Where do I put it?
Yes. What do I do?
I read it. Now what? Sorry,
what do I
guys.
do with this? So I don't give him cards anymore. I learned my lesson a long time ago. I don't make him cards. I don't do any of that
Or
stuff.
like cake or anything like that.
Yeah.
I hate cake.
Unless it's a pound cake.
Right.
Anyways, I was like, okay, I'm gonna buy him a bottle of wine, and then when the kids go to sleep, it's just gonna be the two of us, and you know, we'll just have a nice evening. And yeah.
Wait. Okay, go ahead.
And so but when I got home, I was like, okay, I killed the vibe. So this is not happening. But anyways, at some point later you went to the gym, right? He went to the gym later in the day, and then he comes home. I'm in the kitchen. I think I had just finished making dinner. I might have been washing dishes or something. He comes in with two 4-cup packs of Reese's and just sets them down and says,
This is your Valentine.
This is your Valentine. Yeah, go ahead. What did you say?
This is your Valentine's Day gift. And I looked at her and I walked away.
I don't even know if I said thank you. I think I may have said thank you. But I was just kind of like, oh, man, we're really done. Like, this Valentine's Day is over. Because it was just like, why get me anything?
Yeah.
Like, why?
And I didn't know if I should, but I was kind of like, I probably should. But
I would have rathered nothing.
Yeah, I probably should have gotten you nothing.
I would have rathered nothing. It was so cold.
Yeah.
Just cold. And so he does that, and then he walks away, and I don't even think we talked the rest of the day. Did we?
I don't know.
I don't think we really talked the rest of the day. I definitely didn't get a hug or a kiss that day. It was just horrible.
90% women are listening to this right now. My subscribers are just believe a father that ain't the right type of husband over there.
No, okay, I'm definitely not trying to bash Glen, because the thing is, like, I was realizing, and I was having conversations with in my head the whole day. I was like, I should apologize. I should try to be the one to break the ice, but I just couldn't. because even still, like, I felt like that morning I should have woken up to something. Does that make sense? Like, I should have woken up to, even if it was just a dry erase note on my mirror, I should have seen like, Happy Valentine's Day, I love you, you're so beautiful, or something. You know what I mean? Like, I should have woken up to that. But I was having these conversations in my head and I was like, you know what? Like, people have been saying, okay, we celebrate love every day. But the truth is, Glen is actually a really good, like, you do love me well. But the whole concept of Valentine's Day, like it being Valentine's Day, and the way that it's been like packaged for me as a woman, or for all of us.
But I think you have really like bought into it because you didn't grow up having boyfriends, and like you didn't get flowers and teddy bears like on like in high school and stuff like that.
And mind you, babe, the last, maybe not last year, but the years before that, I was a teacher. And so what you didn't do, I was getting.
You were getting from kids.
I was feeling appreciated. Like, people were speaking my love language with a Starbucks gift card or a homemade Valentine's card from a student. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So the conversation I was having in my head was like, oh, this is stinging a little bit more this year because nobody got me nothing.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't. I was even thinking, I was like, man, he didn't even try to get the kids to make me something. Like, nobody got me nothing. Like, I am just here in a drought. I did get some flowers, but those were kind of like, I have these flowers, you want them? You know, like, it was just kind of like, oh, this Valentine's Day
See, I
sucks.
don't really feel like, see, I hate Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
I hate it. It's like, okay, now you have to show me. Like,
Yeah, no.
homie, like, have I not been showing you?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so like I don't like it. I don't think it's right.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a show off. It's for other people. I don't like it.
It's to display your love for other people.
It's like it's like I don't know. I just don't like, it feels like busy work. It feels like it feels like follower mentality. And I don't personally like it. Now, because it's big to you, it should be big to me.
But the thing is, I don't think I realized it was big to me. And I don't necessarily think it was big to me. I just think on a day that is marked. And the other
It's
thing,
corny. Marked by what? Like, it's just corny.
it's a day chosen by America or the world or whatever.
Actually, it's all European.
Yeah.
There needs to be a Black Love Day. BlackLove.com, holla at me. We need to put together a Black Love Day.
No,
and it
babe.
needs to not be during Black History Month. It needs to be
Facts.
a part of some totally different month.
Okay. All right. Now, what was I about to say? I was saying something.
You didn't know how much it meant to you.
Yeah. Okay. So it's not necessarily that it means something to me.
It does.
It does. I'm taking that back. It does mean something to me. But my thing is, I don't necessarily need to be wined and dined. What I would like, because my love language is and has always been words of affirmation. And so
That's not true.
What?
It's been quality time. First primary was quality time.
Yes,
and
that's
then
true.
it was
It has. Yeah, that's true. But words of affirmation has always been in the top 3.
Sure.
Okay. Anyway, and you are basically a poet. And whenever you do take time,
When the bag is right. I'm a poet when the bag is right. Otherwise, I ain't really got nothing to say. Continue.
oh, I don't like him sometimes.
I'm the worst.
You are the worst. Basically, all I'm saying is, you write me a note, I keep it. You know, just
I've done this before. And
tell me you love me.
I just feel like I'm under it's like a hard test. And if I don't write the right thing, or if it doesn't feel sincere to you, it's like, I'm not writing this again. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not that type of person. So for me, like, And then I'm someone like, if I do it, you told me to do it and I do it, I'm gonna need a parade.
I think that's the thing
I'm gonna
for
need
all
confetti.
men.
I'm gonna need confetti. I'm gonna need something.
I
yes.
know. There was one time he did something for me and I didn't broadcast it on social media. And he goes on his story. He's like, I bought my wife some flowers today. She ain't gonna tell y'all, but I'm gonna tell you.
I don't remember that.
Hey,
I don't think that's
go back
true.
in your archives.
I don't know about that.
Oh my gosh.
I probably.
You did.
I don't know.
Okay, I'm gonna.
It probably was the last Valentine's Day.
No, it wasn't. It was like a few months ago.
Sometimes I get you flowers for no reason.
Exactly.
I can't stand Valentine's Day. It's such a corny day. I don't think it's right. I think people who celebrate it because that's them. Like, but if it's us, I didn't know it was us.
Exactly, and that's my point of this whole conversation. We have not had a conversation like.
So let's have the conversation right now. Are we celebrating Valentine's Day?
The first year, y'all. Let me just tell you.
Oh God! All right, so you want to bring up old stuff?
Where are you going?
All right, come with it.
No, wait.
Come on, because
Tell me where you going real
just
quick.
know it's boomeranging back on the other side of your head. It's coming right back at
Wait,
you.
though, I need to know where you going before I go.
No. Keep going. I got something for you. Go ahead.
All right, so the first year we were married, Glenn takes me to the movies. Do you remember what movie we were seeing?
No.
I don't either. We went to the
You was
movie.
gonna make a big deal if I forgot. Go ahead.
We went to the movies on Valentine's Day. And then we didn't even get to finish the movie. And I forget your excuse for getting me out of the movie theater.
I think I said I left the stove on or something.
Yeah, it was weird. He takes me to the movies and then he cuts the movie short. But then when we come home, one of his friends had like made us a feast, and there was like lights and candles and was there flowers and everything just set up in our first home together, and it was just beautiful. It was like he set a precedent for Valentine's Day and what it was going to be the rest of my life. And then comes year 2. I don't even know what we did on year 2, but somewhere between that first year, our first Valentine's Day as a married couple, and the thing is, oh no, I don't know what we did in 2010. Maybe we were saying we were saving money because we had a wedding to plan or something. I don't know. But anyway, February 2011 was a beautiful Valentine's Day. Mm-hmm. It was gorgeous. I was like really impressed. But then after that, I don't know what happened.
Yeah. I mean,
that's why I think we never had the conversation, because it was kind of like, oh, we do celebrate Valentine's Day.
But check this out. Like, that was the first time. And I'm pretty sure we were broke since then. Right after that, we got real broke. Let's talk about the facts. When you, in the beginning, at the end of the year, every year, as a teacher, you get paid on like the 15th of December. And then you don't get paid again until the middle of January. So we're like...
No, the end of January.
The end of January.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever bills we got is all gone. We don't have no money.
Yeah.
The 14th is looking dry. Okay? And that's been consistently for years.
Okay.
This past year...
All right, calm down.
No, this past year, we just paid off thousands of dollars.
Yes.
Thousands. We're struggling right now because we paid off that right there. You know what I'm saying? And though you don't need much, you really don't. But there's things that you used to do that you don't do.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Where are we going?
Like we just move on. I'm not gonna hold you and ask you to rub my feet. Like, I'm not gonna do that. Like, I'm never gonna ask you to do that. But you used to rub my feet and clip my toenails. Play the video.
Do you really have a video?
Right now. All right, I'm gonna take a picture at a good time. Babe.
Huh?
What are you doing? Just cut that one part off, please, and then keep going. I take pretty good care of my feet, babe.
Then can you turn that off?
Okay.
And we're back. And we are back.
What?
Now, You probably don't even remember that.
I don't.
It's not even in your recollection.
It doesn't sound like something I would do.
Doesn't sound because you were in love. Now you lack love at this current state. That's what we're talking about here. We're talking about a lack of love. Now, why do I work? I try to work. You know what? I could have got you a card. I could have done something like that.
The thing is, you didn't even have to get a card. You could just.
I had a whole plan of something to do.
What was your plan?
I don't want to tell you because I could do it next year.
Do it. No, just do it next week.
Nah, because if we're gonna start Valentine's, I'm gonna have to work on it. No, wasting. I'm trying to plan ahead. So
you know what I think we should do? We should give each other like a $20 budget and just make the most of $20.
I can guarantee I'll get you something and you'll be like, only $20.
Babe, you know I'm not like that.
Babe, you are hard to, babe. You are hard to get stuff for sometimes, and sometimes you're not. But yeah, I've been listening to you talk, and I've been listening to you say, "I want this, I want this, I want this." I've been looking at all the stuff you've been saying you want. We can't afford it. You know? So when we could afford it,
I think I might have to go pee again.
Listen,
babe,
let's sign off.
Don't make me loud.
Let's sign off.
Okay.
Let's sign off.
Anyways, we hope your Valentine's Day was better than ours.
Babe, I felt like
we didn't. I mean, I hope you were at least.
The argument that we had opened up the box to get me to do some real. I've been trying. Mm-hmm. I've been trying.
Wait, huh?
Yeah. How married are you? How married are you, babe?
Babe, you already know I don't have a how married am I. I'm so married. I am so married that even though we had a rough Valentine's Day, I did like communicate to you after the fact like what I would have liked, right? And it wasn't necessarily so much to do with Valentine's Day. I think it's just in this season of where we are in life.
Yeah.
And I think, and Glenn brought up a good point in that conversation that a lot of it has to do with the hormones associated with pregnancy, because I do find that I'm a little bit more sensitive to stuff and I'm a lot less distracted by work. Like this is the first pregnancy I've had where I wasn't working. I'm not working. Like working I am working and it is real.
Yeah, working a job away from home.
Working a job away from home, that takes a lot more of my mental capacity. Okay, I need to shut up because I think I'm dissing stay-at-home moms. But go ahead. How married are you, babe?
Yeah, I'm so married. I really tried to stick to a schedule today.
You did good.
And today, I saw that the clouds were going to be crazy, and I was like, let's go watch the sunset. And that's something that you love to do. Mm-hmm. And I had my own selfish reasons for wanting to go. Well, we went, and I went with you, and I never go. Yeah. And I tried to go on your little hike today.
You did. Thank you.
Yeah. That's how married I am. And that's just how married we are.